In the previous episode I used a lot of XP by making that powerful items and also that armor, so we begin by selling all of that iron to my villagers. In that way we get a lot of emeralds, and I hope I will remake a part of the XP which I use. But also with the emeralds I go to my other villagers and I will buy a block of quartz, because for the today's builds we will need a lot of quartz. I make a tutorial about that creeper farm, so if you wanna see it I will leave a link in the description. But today we're gonna make a custom creeper farm. So we have to remove the top, so I deactivate the farm. Now I have to remove the collection system, because I will use another type. Now that I removed that two parts, I could make more 9 layers. So we begin the work. And finally I managed to make all the 14 layers. But now is the time for the collection system. For the design of the farm I will try to make a giant firework. So for that I will need red concrete. So finally all of the red color which is produced by my iron farm will have a purpose, which is to make some red concrete. Also the boring part is here by transforming the concrete. For the beginning I start with the button of the giant rocket. As a collection system I will use a lot of hoppers. It's expensive, but in that way I will take advantage of the falling damage, which is the fastest way to collect the gunpowder. Now is the time to continue to build the body of the huge rocket. So I'm gonna spend the next day by building it. I already ran out of materials, but the beginning look amazing. I don't know if you believe it or not, but here is 8 stacks of red concrete. So it will take a while until I finish the body of the giant rocket, but I believe the final result will worth it. So we continue to gather the required materials. I built more than the half of the giant rocket, but I start to get bored of always run out of materials, so we also need tinted glass. So I go to the closest geode to collect some amethyst. That fortune tree pickaxe really worth all his money. The recipe of the tinted glass is so expensive. From 4 stacks of amethyst I just got 2 stacks of tinted glass. So I think I will need a lot of more amethyst. Now that I have the tinted glass I could start to work on the redstone system. I never used tinted glass before and the shadow thing really work. The redstone system will be a simple clock, which in I will place 30 pieces of any item. So we have the clock and it worked. I finished the body of the giant rocket, but here up I will continue with some tinted glass. So we have to collect more amethyst. Now I can craft more tinted glass. So now I can continue the work on the top of the rocket. And that are the last piece of the creeper farm. Now the creeper farm start to produce gunpowder and is finished. But that is not the end of today's project. The tinted glass is just a part of a future project which will be a secret base. Now we have to continue the work on the top of the rocket, where again I will use a lot of red concrete. I succeed to make the shape of the base, and now I won't go from the edge straight to the middle. Instead of that I will make some walls on the edge. So the entire thing start to take shape, and inside the walls on the floor I will place quartz slabs to prevent any mob to spawn here. They are just temporary until I will figure out how to make the secret base here at the top. And with that 2 block I finish the entire giant fire rocket. At the top it was simple, I just used glowstone with carpet on that. But there is the problem, under it I can't use glowstone. Eventually I will use Andrew to light up the entire thing, but now I didn't have them. So I'm thinking about some crimson trapdoors, which could eventually work in daytime. So I go to the interior and I start to place the trapdoors at some key points. And they turn out to be effective in daytime. It's not invisible, but from far away as I am now, you can't see it. From a bit farther it looks even better. For that moment the storage of that entire thing will be just that 3 double chests where the gunpowder already start to come. That is just temporary because here in the middle I will do the firework auto crafting system, which will use gunpowder and also sugarcane. After we finish the giant creeper farm we're gonna spend the next part of the episode by going into the end, and here we're gonna go to search for entities. Now that I have infinite rockets I prefer just to fly to the bigger end and didn't use the portal. And far away I see some entities. We arrive at the first entity and I start to beat the shulkers. Because I need shulker shell. and for that I will beat all of them. And also I will not lose the opportunity to take the good items from the chests. I just realized that I can't craft a shulker box in my little inventory, and I hope I have some wood in my ender chest. So that's the moment of the truth, and yes, I have some wood. So I make a crafting table, and now we make our first shulker box, which will be a huge help. I find another elytra, and why not, I took it. Also diamonds, emeralds, and the items is not the best. I got another elytra and a new armor trim, which I will take it. Also I got a lot of shulker shell, looting 2, smite 4, so I think today's journey was successful. Finally we get back to the main island, and we're back home, where we have to implement the shulker box. From the beginning of the emerald factory I planning to place shulker boxes in the corners where I can empty my inventory, or I can send back the iron to be made into blocks. So now we could remove that chest and make some little modifiers here behind, where I continue with the hopper line until here, where I make a shulker box, then make it white, and I place it here where I can empty my inventory from emeralds, and the emeralds will be sent down to the emerald auto crafting system into blocks. And also I like to implement another shulker box, which I will place I think here, which with I can send back the iron ingots into the system, but I have to remove that hopper, and that's how it look like. And now if I place the iron here, it will go into the sorting system, and eventually it will arrive here where it's the iron blocks. So we finally complete the emerald factory, which are required the shulker boxes. But also with the help of shulker boxes we have to organize our ender chest. I will use a white shulker box for fire rockets, which will stay I think here. The orange shulker box will be for food, like that, and it will be placed here. And the blue one will be for the precious things, like all of my diamonds, elytras, armor trims, and also my golden apples. A brown for wood in any case of emergency, and of course one for redstone, because the redstone is one of the best things in the game. And the other 11 shulker boxes which I have will be for transportation of materials. I stay AFK at that farm around 25 minutes, and that's the result, which is very good. Also I almost forgot to make the stick which on the giant rocket are staying. I would like to do it from spruce, but I didn't have any spruce, so we have to go to collect some. I find that beautiful area, and I would like to see some suggestions about what I should build here. I can't look away from that beautiful landscape, but back to our work, we have to collect some spruce. I don't lose any time, so I start to place it. I place it, and I think it will look better if it's stripped wood. Yeah, it should be much better. And yes, it looked much better. That's today's episode, click here.